Hey YouTube, in this video I want to talk about home gyms, garage gyms, how to make sure you spend as little money as possible on all of your lifting equipment without damaging your ability to train. So there are a certain amount of equipment that you can go cheap on without having to suffer any bad consequences when it comes to lifting. The number one is going to be your weight, the plates you buy. Weight is weight. Don't worry about the quality of the plates, the way they look, if they're shiny. If you're the type of person who's trying to save money on your garage gym while still getting good equipment to build muscle, then find the plates that are the cheapest in the best possible condition and don't worry about the brand. Your best bet is to look around for gyms that are closing. Sadly, in this day and age, there are a ton of little mom and pop gyms that close, and when they close, they sell everything, including all the plates they have, and you can get a very good deal. The one thing I would say is if you are a serious lifter and you start lifting in the 400, 500 pound range, you might need to get calibrated plates. The reason why is because cheap weight plates tend to not be exactly the weight that is advertised. So if you get a bunch of 45s, you might get some 45s that are actually like 38 pounds, some are 48, and it might not seem like much, but if you're unlucky and you squat 400 and you have all the heaviest plate on one side and all the lightest plate on one side, you might be facing a discrepancy of like 20 pounds in between the sides, and that can be dangerous. So calibrated plates, if you look online, there are very cheap options out there. Personally, when I bought my stuff, I bought close to £1,000 in plates. I basically went for what was cheapest. I have a mismatch of different plates from different companies. You will find that, of course, if you buy a bundle, a ton of weight at once, certain companies will cut the price a ton. You will also find that for some reason, 45s are going to be more expensive with one company that are going to have cheap 25s, and then another company is going to have cheaper 10s. For me, that's what happened. All my 10s and 5s are from one company in particular, and my 25s are from a different one, my 55s are from a different one, etc. So do your research and be patient. Something else you can go cheap on is your clamps. Clamps are cheap to start with, but I found that you can go to Home Depot and buy their clamps that are $2, and they work just as well as collars, sometimes even better. The only thing that is not going to work is if you do any type of tricep movement with a dumbbell. Of course, the clamp is not going to work because you're putting pressure on the plate. So the clamp might fly off. As far as the other types of equipment you can go cheap on, blocks, if you're going to do block pulls, or if you're going to do calf training, or if you could do box squats, any type of wood furniture, don't buy it from a company. They are going to sell it at like 5 times the price. Go to Home Depot and ask them to build it for you. They will build it for you. It's cheap. Or if you know what you're doing, build it yourself. And to continue on the topic of wood, platform. If you're going to have a platform like I have here, build it yourself. It's so expensive. I think Rogue sells platforms that are tiny for like $1,000. You can have the same platform for under $150 at Home Depot. Building a platform is not complicated. And even if you are completely unable to build one for some reason, you should find someone around you that can build it for you, and they're going to be less expensive to pay to build it. My platform is very special because it's a 16 feet by 8 feet platform. It has several layers of wood and store mats. That platform, if I had it custom made by one of these companies, would have cost me at least $4,000 at least, because there was some slope calculation going on. I had a very specific design in mind. It would have been a bad purchase. Why? Because building it cost me $500. It cost me almost, yeah, it cost me 10 times less than to buy it. So my advice to you is that don't buy your platform, build it yourself. It's fairly fun. It's annoying to move because it's heavy, but once it's built, it's built. It's not going anywhere. And my fifth and last advice is going to be stations. So cable machines, preacher curls, all of that stuff. The worst thing you can do is get a quote from a commercial seller and get it from them. The reason why is because people who buy from them are usually big commercial gyms who get a ton of stations at once and they get a price. If you buy one or two, they're going to sell it to you at full price. And you're going to end up paying $1,000 for these things. So my advice is either buy it from someone who's trying to get rid of it, so same as for the plates, or, and that's a little trick you can do, contact a wholesaler like Armor Strength or Matrix, all right? And instead of trying to buy it from their website, get in contact with one of the sell people that works for Matrix but is not employed by them, and talk it through with them via email or phone and tell them, look, I want an hyperextension bench. I saw that the Matrix one is $1,000. What can you do for me? Do you have another model? And usually you will find that the $1,000 model is for commercial gyms and that they do sell a downgraded model that is usually half the price, but it's going to serve the same purpose and not be that much different from the $1,000 one. So that's the one you should buy. Negotiate, see if you can have free shipping. Usually you can always get a nice price because these people like selling to individuals most of the time. The only thing is you might have to wait 2 or 3 months to get your stuff shipped, but that's just life. If you want to save money, you might have to be more patient. So that's that. That's my 5 tips to save money. With just those 5 tips, you can easily save between $3,000, $4,000 on your garage or home gym. So I advise you follow them, and I will be making a video about the 5 things you cannot go cheap on in your home gym. So that will become soon. If you're interested, thank you for watching that video, and if you have questions, I will answer them in the comments. Have a good day.